Do you want something?
Yes. Yes, I believe it would.
What would?
The look in your eyes, the book in your hands, the aura emanating from your body.
What about them?
This would be the opportune time for part 2 of our bookshelf tour.
I have like 8 more chapters to read. Do you see this giant pile of textbooks?
Yeah, this is what, about 10,000 pages?
Yeah.
Okay. And for which class are you reading Stay Sexy, Don't Get Murdered?
You have 1 hour. So the new semester, these are all my textbooks. These are all for one class. Nobody gives a about them. Oh God. Poor books. So these here are part of my latest haul. We went to Ann Arbor and Detroit and all the places with the used bookstores. I found this 1952 issue, Popular Mechanics. It has this article in it about cathode ray tubes being used to write books in under a minute. And I thought it was interesting because it sounded like a laser printer. And then I read the article and it was essentially just a prototype laser printer before lasers were really a thing. The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, The Girl Who Played with Fire. I don't have the third book. I don't remember if this one's the second or the third book. I've read all of them, but I found these and I wanted them. So I bought them. Ready Player One gets terrible reviews. I'm gonna read it anyway. What do we got? The Minimalist Detroit Map I saw and I was like, I need this. It's not a book. I don't know. I like Philip K. Dick. He wrote the movie that became Blade Runner, the movie that became Minority Report, the movie that became Total Recall. I've never read either of these. This you can look up on Netflix now, so I'm gonna read these. I'm gonna watch the thing. Huh?
Amazon?
Good call, Jason. H.P. Lovecraft, The Wood Fire Automobile. I found at John K. King Books in Detroit. It's this 4-story bookstore and they just sell the most random I haven't read this yet. It's very short. The Savvy Woman's Guide to Automobiles. I liked it because it had sexist undertones. Computer Images, The State of the Art. This is from 1983 and I liked it because it had images like this. So state of the art. Oh my God, look at that Chicago. Stay Sexy, Don't Get Murdered by the people who do the podcast. My favorite murder. I also had some Ray Bradbury, but my mom stole it because she wanted to read it first, but she conveniently didn't mention How to Smoke Pot, a highbrow guide to getting high, which I found at this little shop in Detroit, and I was like, I want this. Those are the most recent things I've gotten. So behind me on the record player, we'll take a look at those. We've got Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep, which became Blade Runner, Sci-Fi Pulp. It's just these 3 short stories by Philip K. Dick. We Can Remember It For You for Wholesale. This was also a book of short stories, but one of these became the movie Total Recall. The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, the trilogy, which was 5 books and a short story. Then on this side, over here, Uncertainty in Games and The Art of Failure, both from MIT Press. This is part of a series of books about game design. The Art of Producing Games and The Art of Video Games. They're both like artsy kind of books, which are cool, and I'm into, and I put them here so that people can look at them, but not read them. This is the bookshelf in the bedroom of that I haven't started reading, or I'm in the middle of reading, or I plan to read at some point. What Jason didn't want you to see is this thing up here that he painted at Painting with a Twist or some equally obnoxious thing that he was embarrassed about or something because it didn't turn out the way he wanted. I think it's beautiful in a Tim Burton sort of way. Crazy About Cats. We bought this from my nephew, never gave it to him. Japanese design. I don't know. I saw this at a store or something. The Art of Gamification, Level Up, Designing Games, and Architectural Approach to Game Design. These are all game design. These are all game design. This is part of the series that we had in the other room. Hooked and the Design of Everyday Things. These both looked really interesting. I haven't read them yet. My mom gave me these for Christmas like 3 years ago. We got a Patrick that I got at the Anatomy of Death in Mount Clemens. It's a little museum. They were having an art show. What is this? A Sackboy? And then this, my dad got when he was stationed in India. It needs to be dusted really bad. This I gave to Jason. I bought it at PetSmart for our first anniversary or whatever. This is Euclid. My Aunt Jackie gave this to me. Oh my God, falling off my shelf. My Aunt Jackie gave this to me. He used to be buckled into the back seat of my car, but then I folded down the seats to move The Joy of Mixology. Porters and Stouts. I got this for Jason, and he never read it. This one we got at... What's that thing when you go to people's houses and buy their...
A garage sale?
We got this as a garage sale. When I worked at PetSmart, they had this thing where if you work there for 10 years, they give you some points and you can buy off of a website, so I got this. These ones are all okay, but this one here, The Art of Making Drinks, The Art of Mixing Drinks, is by far my favorite. This is from 1935. Our real estate agent gave this to us for our housewarming. It's got really interesting old-ass recipes for drinks in it, and I'm super into it. It's also incredibly sexist about how you should make drinks to make your man happy, and I'm into that as well. Science Inc. is about people who got scientific tattoos on their bodies and the stories behind them. This is a really interesting book. Writing about science. This is an old book that I found at the used bookstore. I think it's 1950-ish. I'm into old books. 1979. I thought it was interesting, so I bought it. Cosmos is a picture book about different things in the universe. Make Magazine used to be a thing. Is this still a thing?
I don't know.
This might still be a thing. I know they stopped the Maker Faire, but they used to have a magazine, and then they would make these little books that you could do with your kids. So this one is making a penny-powered flashlight, a flying LED copter, and more. And then this one's about woodworking, and it just shows you how to make. And we bought these for our nephew, so we'll give him those one day. I want to make this first, though. Lights of Mankind is all about light as seen from outer space. So it goes through like all the different countries, all the different continents, and shows you the lights. I have a thing for space. The solar system. This is much like the Elements book that I have that we saw in the last video. I don't know if I went through it, but it's got different things in the solar system, the moons, the planets, some of the dwarf planets, and larger asteroids. Walt Disney, The Story of Our Friend the Atom. I saw this at John J. King Books, and I was like, I need this. The Onion, Book of Known Knowledge. I had never actually read this. Where did we get this? To the Ocean Deep and To the Moon are coloring books that are 15 feet long. One of these days, Alice, I'm going to fly you to the moon. So you open the book, and the pages, they go out like that, and they just keep going and going and going, and it's 15 feet, and then you're at the moon. I went into Source Booksellers in Detroit, and there's this little old lady who runs their shop, and she always gets me to buy like $800 of stuff that I don't need. And here I am with two 15-foot-long coloring books. This shelf is just kind of an amalgamation of different books. Over here we have books about food. We've got Coney, Detroit. A lot of people don't know this, but Coney Island started in Detroit, Michigan with Lafayette and American Coney. So this is a nice little book about that. Charred and Scruffed, a cookbook by this guy who went to Juilliard, and he was like, this, I don't like it. And now he does cookbooks about like grilling, which is really good. Detroit Food. This is about like different Coney Islands, that kind of stuff. Also a lot of the different farm to table kind of stuff, which is cool. The History of Tea my mom got me. I haven't read it yet. Obviously, it's on the I haven't read shelf. There's a space here for a book that my mom took when she took my Ray Bradbury. It was called
Me Ray Bradbury.
Me Ray Bradbury, you're the greatest sci-fi writer in history. I don't remember how the song goes. It was called Belle Isle to 8 Mile, an Insider's Guide to Detroit. Here we've got some science fiction. We've got Andromeda Strain, Apocalypse, a novel. I haven't read that yet. The Martian, which the book is supposed to be really good. I haven't seen the movie for this either. Mist is Jason's book. I don't think he's going to read it. I probably won't read it.
I read all three of them years ago, repeatedly.
Why would you read a book more than once? I don't understand people who do that. Dune. I've never read this. I've never seen the movie. It's supposed to be really good. How to Relax. Katharine Hepburn. Me. Stories of My Life. I don't really know who Katharine Hepburn is. She's an actress of some sort. It was a long time ago. The Lost Gate. I don't know where I got this. I don't know what it's about. The Disappearing Spoon. And Other True Tales of Madness, Love, and the History of the World from the Periodic Table of Elements. This is about chemistry. It looks really good. I haven't read it yet. Good Omens. I borrowed this months ago and haven't read it yet. Choke. I don't know what this is about. What is this about? Oh my god. I do want to buy back all of my Mary Roach books that I gave away. There was Gulp, Bonk, and Stiff were three of my favorite books. I gotta find them again. The Tipping Point by Malcolm Gladwell. He's a good author. That's very interesting. Verbal Judo, The Gentle Art of Persuasion, is about verbal self-defense when people are dicks to you. Overdrive, Bill Gates and the Race to Control Cyberspace. This is from 1998, I think. I bought it because I thought it'd be interesting to know what they thought about the internet in 1998. This shelf on this side is all of my coloring books, but on this side, we've got like just books to dick off with. We've got Where the is Waldo? The Hipster Handbook I found at the used bookstore. A Briefer History of Time, a parody I found at the used bookstore. Space Tourists Handbook. Sappi is this Italian, Japanese, I'm not sure, graphic novel. I'm not super into graphic novels, but I do like to pick them up once in a while. The Nikola Tesla puzzle book. These are really hard, let me tell you. Crafting with cat hair. I like the weird okay? The Daily Zoo and the Daily Zoo 3. I bought these on clearance for $2. This guy was sick in the hospital, so he drew different animals every day. What did you eat yesterday? This is a manga about food. Time Grunts. The guy who owns one of the local Coney Islands made a graphic novel. I bought it. I haven't read it. I don't intend to read it. But when it comes out with volume 2, I'm going to buy that too. Atomic Blonde, a graphic novel my friend let me borrow. Tag, a graphic novel about zombies that my friend let me borrow. Also, Patience, a graphic novel that my friend let me borrow. This is a Jacob's Ladder. It's one of these stupid ass toys that you go like this and this. I still don't understand how this works. They got coloring pencils. Serenity. Oh! It's a coloring book about Firefly. Fantastic Cities. I buy all of these coloring books and then I never color them. Keep Calm and Color On. The David Bowie coloring book. I have done some of these. Hold on. This is my favorite one. It's very David Bowie-like. Tessellation Patterns coloring book. My mom gave me this. People of Walmart coloring book. I got it at Black Friday. A white elephant gift. It's missing a page. I don't know what was on it. It's really interesting. Swearwords, the adult coloring book. Face, muncher. The Time Garden. This one has really beautiful artwork in it. I did not color this. My friend Julie did.
So this really dusty shelf is most of our PS2 games.
So these... The guy who does the Veritasium videos on YouTube, he made this on Kickstarter. It's Snadums. It's a molecular structure whatever kit.
So is that it? Is that all we're doing?
I don't have any more books that aren't
I'm sure
packed
you
away.
do.
I don't have any more books that are easy to get to. We need more bookshelf space. We need a bigger house.
Thanks as always for watching. Please like, subscribe, comment, hit that notification bell.
I'm tired.
Maybe it's you. Maybe it's me. Maybe it's Maybelline. But I think you said this would be the opportune time for part.
Maybe it's Maybelline. What are you doing? I don't know this. Oh no, I've fallen down.